your boy Mike. It's Thirsty Thursday, Throwback Thursday, and the best Thursday of the year, Spooky Thursday. It's Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I hope you are all having a fantastic night. I hope everyone's having a great night. I just got back from a cruise, and I'm ready to go on the next one. So who's coming with me? I so need to book another cruise. But anyway, it's been a long time since I've been live, and I have, if I'm being honest, which I should totally be honest, because you can just call me Honest Abe, I really was not looking forward to going live tonight. I've been sitting here for the last half hour going, I really don't want to go live. I don't want to do it. I just want to go to sleep. And the reason that is because I fell asleep watching the World Series last night, and congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for that. I mean, listen, the Yankees had that game in the bag. They were up 5-0, and they blew that game. So, congratulations to the Dodgers. That just means, for me, it's one more day closer to spring training, and hopefully my Phillies can make it there next year. Scott, that's an inappropriate emoji in the chat. You need to resend that. We are a family-friendly channel here, Scott. You know that for a fact. Anyway, let's get right to it. Scott McNeil's the first one in the house, followed by Lourdes, who retracted a message, and then Gay. Lourdes saying Happy Halloween to everybody. Cameron Hawkins in the house. Scott McNeil, Cameron, Gay, Robin in the house. Happy Friday Eve. Martin in the house. What's going on, brother? I need to mute you. Why do you need to mute me? I don't know why you need to mute me. I feel bad for the Yankees. They blew that game. Cole seriously blew that game. And you know what blew that game the most is, we'll talk about this real fast and then we'll move on. He blew the game by not running the first base. He got off the mound and he just ran halfway over to first base and he was like, hey, you got it. Tag first base. That was it. Once he blew that play of running to first base, game was over at that point. They scored 5 runs in the 5th inning. They tied it up. It was absolutely insane. The Yankees had that game in the bag. Every time Judge came up the plate, I was like, yep, he's going to go yard. But listen, there's always next year. Let the Dodgers enjoy this moment. Let them have their fun, get their parade going and all of that jazz. Congratulations to them. Hats off to the Dodgers. And I'll be honest with you, once my Phillies were bumped out, I was hoping for a Subway Series. I wanted New York and New York. But the Mets couldn't hold up their end of the deal either. So, other than that, it is what it is. Mel in the house. Wes in the house. What's going on? I hope you're all having a fantastic night. So, we're going to talk about a few things. Now, I wore the celebrity hat because that was the first cruise I got off of. Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it. How is it? How is it doing it? It froze. It froze. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Listen, technical difficulties. It's been a long time since I've gone live. It really shouldn't freeze up. I don't know why it's acting that way. Webcam. Preparing webcam. Bang! And just like that, we're back on. So let's go ahead and lock that back in place. I love when things like that just throw me off, don't you? But anyway, let's get to it, right? So the first cruise I got off of was Celebrity, and it was the very first cruise on board a Celebrity ship. And I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely loved it. Yes, it was an older ship. It was the Celebrity Reflection. Just a quick little cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, but Celebrity did me right. It was everything that I remembered pre-COVID, right? So your twice-a-day turn-down service, your chocolates on your pillows, champagne when you walk into the cabin, things like that. It definitely gave you that pre-COVID vibe, and I am all about that pre-COVID cruising. So I absolutely love Celebrity. Now, plans did change. We were supposed to head down to the Florida Keys on Thursday night. We didn't do that. Instead, I headed up to Georgia to be with my best friend at one of the hardest parts, at one of the hardest times in his life. So I definitely, was needed there more than I was needed into the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys will always be there. Being there for your best friend at one of the most hardest points of their life was more important for me. So I definitely made those changes, went up to Georgia Thursday, drove all the way up to Georgia, turned around, drove back from Georgia Thursday night, got up Friday morning and drove into Florida City, where I stayed at one of the cheapest hotels you could possibly think of. It was a Quality Inn. Now, mind you, I did not pick this hotel, and we'll get into all of that because this trip here that I just got off of, I let everybody else make the decisions, and I just rolled with it. Usually I make the big decisions like the hotel, rental cars, flights, things like that. I did none of that this trip, and I just rolled with it. Cameron in the house, Julie Thomas in the house. What's going on, y'all? If I missed anybody, I apologize. It's not that I'm doing it on purpose. I just like to get them hellos out of the way real quick and roll into the show before my brain squirrels off and we go down a rabbit hole like I just did explaining why. But anyway, back to the story. So I get up to Georgia, get back from Georgia. We head on down to Florida City. We stay at the Quality Inn. Now, I'm not going to lie. The Quality Inn wasn't the greatest hotel, but it wasn't the worst hotel. I could have definitely stayed somewhere way worse than the Quality Inn. Now, I'll agree. I usually don't stay at hotels like that. I want to say I'm a little bit bougie. But I wasn't bougie on that trip. Tess Alman in the house. What's going on, Tess? I'll be seeing you real soon. 100 and some days, I think it is. What is it? 4 months exactly. 4 months from the day today, I will be seeing your face on the Coop Cruise. So I let everybody make the decisions. I think Chuck picked the hotel. It was a Quality Inn. It was relatively inexpensive. And the reason we chose to stay there was because, like I said, we were going to head into the Florida Keys. And from the Florida Keys, we were going to just go back to Florida City and then on into Miami. But the main reason we chose to stay there was because the one, the only, the overrated, overpriced Taylor Swift was performing her Eras Tour in Miami that weekend, and hotel prices were insane through the roof. When I tell you insanely through the roof, we're talking $250 plus a night. So it would have cost $500 per room. We're looking at $1,000 extra just for hotels for the night in Miami. So we chose to stay a little bit south of Miami in Florida City. It's literally the gateway to the Keys, and it was 2.5 hours in the Key West. But some things came up. Like I said, plans were changed. Definitely needed to change the plans. I couldn't continue with the original plans with the circumstances on what was going on. So I made the changes. I made the adjustments. And I missed the Keys. Like I said, the Keys will always be there. Not that big of a deal to me. I can literally get to the Keys in 8 hours. If I decided to leave the house now, I'd be there in 8 hours. So we stay at the hotel in the Quality Inn in Florida City. We go to Texas Roadhouse for dinner. I know, right? A chain restaurant. But I'll be honest, they got the best deep fried pickles anywhere. Hands down. Texas Roadhouse knows how to do it with the deep fried pickles. We get up, we have some breakfast at the hotel. We head on into the port of Miami. And this, my friends, is where things get a little tricky because Cameron, that you see typing away in the chat, tickety tap tap Cameron, he is the one that gave me all the rental car information, and I booked the rental cars through the places Cameron told me. Well, the reason I booked these reservations for the car was, again, we were all driving down. It was easier for everyone to meet here, drive down, drop off the rental car, get on the cruise ship. Nobody has to pay for parking. We get a rental car on the way back. We all drive back. So the cost of the rental car was what it would cost for one car to park at the Port of Miami. So it was well worth the savings for both rental cars both ways and to save that coin for all of us. So I book the rental cars Cameron sends me. I pay no mind to it, and he's telling me they're at the airport. Well, ladies and gentlemen, anytime someone tells you they're at the airport, do your research because guess what? The drop-off was not at the airport. So I get to the airport and I'm like, hey, where's the Fox rental car place? And I'm like, Cameron, is it on airport property? And I look at the reservation and guess what it says? Off airport. So I had to find where that was and drop that off. But then instead of taking a cab, Cameron was like, I got the Uber. And we got into an Uber and drove from the rental car lot to the cruise ship, past the cruise ship, on the opposite side of town, down the South Beach. I was in an Uber for 45 minutes for a 10-minute drive. When I tell you I was very frustrated, I was absolutely frustrated. I could not have a conversation with the Uber driver unless I used the Translate app on my phone. So shout out Apple for having something that great on my phone because the whole Uber fiasco, like Robin said, the Uber fiasco, it was a complete nightmare. I had to figure out what language he spoke, and the only way I could figure it out was by going through the different languages on the app and asking him if he spoke this or if he spoke that, blah blah blah. Well, when I got the Russian, he was like, yeah, I understand Russian. I was like, okay, so he must be Ukrainian. So I put it to Ukraine, and I asked him, and he said, yes, Ukrainian. Boom, perfect. Once we got that established and figured out, I was able to get him directions, able to help him out, and talk to him through the Translate app. But it's a 10-minute ride that took us well over 45 minutes. I ended up in South Beach somewhere. I was probably at one of Taylor Swift's after parties. So who knows? We were literally all over the city of Miami. And the reason I was getting frustrated was because we stopped. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. I didn't get frustrated because of myself. The reason I got frustrated is because we were the first ship to set sail out of Port of Miami, which means all aboard time was 2:30 p.m. We did not drop the rental car off until a little after 12:30. So by the time we dropped the rental car off, got fuel, dropped it off, and got in the Uber, we literally had like this 2-hour, hour and a half window. And the whole time, Chuck was messaging me. He's like, yo, where y'all at? And I'm like, we're coming. We're in the Uber. He's like, 8 cabs just drove by. And there was a cab outside. I was so ready to just grab the cab and take the cab from the rental car place, but Cameron already ordered the Uber on his phone. It is what it is. It's done. It's over with. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not frustrated at anybody. I just needed a moment to myself, and I told Cameron, if I get a little snippy, it's not at you. It's just at the situation. I just need a minute to decompress. So the issue was he didn't understand English. He didn't read English, write English, speak English, none of that. So it took me a little while to get the language barrier figured out. And then we finally got to the cruise ship. Now, when we get to the cruise ship, like I said, all aboard was 2:30. So it was literally, we have to get there quick. Now, the reason we got there a little later is, yes, I wanted to stop. And I stopped at the outlets down in Florida City. I bought myself a new pair of shoes because, you know, I have this sneaker issue. And then I bought myself a bottle of cologne. But we were really only there for a good 20, 30 minutes. So that really didn't add too much time to it. It's just a frustrating point. By the time we got to the port, dropped everybody off, and then got the rental car back to where it was, it was just getting to be a hassle. And when you're driving on the opposite side of the cruise ship, and all you see is a body of water separating you from you to the cruise ship, and you're going in the opposite direction, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But like Chuck said, what's going on, Chuck? I appreciate you, bro, for hopping in here. I don't know if you're at work tonight or you're off. Either way, thanks for coming in. But like Chuck just said, we got through security quick. Security was a breeze. It was a quick bang, bang, bang. And there was really nobody there, so they were still herding us like cattle all around these ropes, and it was literally just the 4 of us. And I'm like, come on, man. Let's go. But what's Tess say? Worst hotel I ever stayed in was Tampa. Last minute flight change taking me there instead of MCO. I'm pretty sure it was a home hotel. I left at 5 a.m. to drive to Canaveral with little sleep. Yeah, there's a lot of those in Tampa. You got to do a little bit of your research. Love the cruise countdown. See you soon. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. The Uber fiasco. Yes, yes, yes. Cameron was mad. Robin would have lost her. Yeah, I was there. I was getting to that point where I was going to lose it, but I was like, listen, it's not worth it. And what frustrated me the most was that the driver was using the app in English. If he would have used it in his native language, I don't think we would have had as many issues. But it is what it is. So we get to the ship, we get through, we get on the ship, and let me tell you, my first impressions of the Carnival Magic were... I'm not going to lie. I've been on older ships in the Carnival fleet where my impressions were not. But this was my first impression of the ship. It was absolutely trash. And when I tell you trash, I mean I'm talking about the simple things, right? The simple things. Not the whole ship as itself. The ship as itself, it was a great ship. It's an older ship. It came out in 2011. And I'm not here to bash the Carnival Magic. I had a great time with great company. It was an awesome experience to be on that ship with everybody I was there with. And we had a great time. We made the best of it, every situation possible. But I will tell you right now, even though the ship was trash, the food that was coming out of that kitchen was fire. The chefs that they got on board, they got some great chefs. Some of the food I had on other ships I didn't like. I enjoyed it very much on the Magic. But when I tell you it was trash, it's the little things, right? When you walk into your cabin and the paintings that are on the wall that are supposed to be attached to the wall are held up by command strips, and every time you sit on the couch, you knock it off the wall. That's a little frustrating and a little annoying. The light fixtures in the room were literally coming off the bedside tables. They were not even screwed on. You couldn't even screw them on. You can tell the ship was dated and it needs to go into dry dock, and it needs to go in the dry dock bed. The last time this thing hit dry dock was in 2021, and that was only to get the new livery painted on the ship. There really wasn't no other reports that I could see where they made any upgrades or changes to the ship. The internet, hot trash. Now, mind you, the first couple of days we were dealing with a storm. We did go right through a hurricane that was hitting Cuba. I thought we were going to go around it, but no, the captain said, hey, let's have some fun. We go right through it. And that's what we did. We literally went right through the hurricane that hit Cuba. It was a small storm, but it was enough to mess up the internet, right? But every day after that, it was just, the internet was just horrible, and it would kick you off. You wouldn't be able to access the internet in the cabin. There was plenty of times I had to go into the hallway to get the internet to reconnect, things like that. But it's the simple things, right? It's the dining rooms were very dark, so you felt like you were eating in a movie theater at some times. Now, there was a lot of pros to the ship. I loved the casino. I loved the way it was laid out. I loved the theater. I loved a lot of things about the ship. I'm saying the internet worked after the hurricane. It absolutely did. But it still kicked me off. There was plenty of times way after the hurricane that I was having issues with the internet. But the light fixtures in the cabin, things like that, it just needs that little tender love and that dry dock. So if it goes to dry dock and they upgrade the ship a little bit, they freshen it up, they put new carpets, they put new light fixtures, it'll definitely serve its purpose. It's got many more years to it. The ship ran great, the service was great, the staff was excellent. I have no complaints there. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there's so many other ships in the Carnival fleet that are older that feel newer than the Magic. I've been on the Paradise. That is one of the oldest ships in the fleet. They've done a wonderful dry dock with that ship. I've been on the Liberty. They've done a wonderful dry dock with that. I was on the Glory. They've done a great dry dock with that. The Magic definitely needs to hit dry dock, and I think it needs to hit sooner than what Carnival has on schedule. Right now, Carnival has it on schedule for October 6th of 2025. That is a whole year from now. I don't know if that ship can wait another year before it goes and sees the beautician and gets its makeup redone and gets itself a nice facelift. It definitely needs to hit dry dock, and I think Carnival knows that because from the research I've done over the last few days, there's a lot of people that are complaining about the same things. Now, I'm not sitting here and nitpicking. I'm not telling you not to go on it. I think if you go on it, it'll be an awesome experience. Like I tell you all the time, your cruise is what you make it. If you go into it with an open mind, it doesn't matter how old the ship is, doesn't matter when the last dry dock was, you'll have a great time. It really depends on you as a person when you go on your vacation. But for me, I personally know the ship needs some attention. It needs some love. It needs to go and be shown that it's got many more years in the fleet. By letting it sit and not do these things, it tends to show more on the ship. You tend to understand things a little bit more. So the paint, we've all been in ports where they're painting the ships. Not once did I see them painting the ships when we were in port, but you've still seen a ton of rust. They were out there knocking the rust down, so maybe they were getting ready to paint the ship. Maybe this voyage that it's on now, they're getting some paint done. But it's just the little things, right? It's the little things that would make the ship feel that much better and refreshed. So I still had a wonderful time. The cabin was clean. The cabin steward made sure the cabin was clean. Towels were freshened every day. Everything was still that great Carnival experience and why we continue to sail Carnival as much as we do because of all of that. Don't be discouraged if you have a cruise coming up on the the Carnival Maggot. That's a new cruise line, y'all. That's a new ship in the fleet, the Carnival Maggot. Don't be discouraged if you got a cruise coming up. Like Lourdes, you got one on the 16th. Don't worry about it. Overlook the little things. I'm just telling you what I've noticed on the ship that make me go, okay, Well, you need to get this thing in dry dock. It needs a little bit of love. Like Chuck said, the ship isn't horrible, but it needs some attention. It does. And one big spot they need some attention is the elevators. Because if you haven't seen the short yet, go on, check that out. We got stuck in an elevator on the second morning. We were heading to C-Day brunch, and the elevator just decided to kaput and not open. We were all stuck in there with two nice, respectful kids, and the doors on the inside would open, but the outside set of doors would not open. So we were stuck in the elevator for about 5 to 7 minutes. Really wasn't that bad. They got somebody there pretty quick to get us out. But yeah, we got stuck in an elevator. It was a first experience there. Gay said, I stayed in a hotel once where there was sand in the beds and dead fleas in the drinking glasses. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I would have stayed there. I think I would have turned around and walked out and found a new hotel. First time had that many issues with the internet. Yeah, the internet was spotty. I hope I can overlook the issues. Absolutely, very easy. Horizon in 2022 was 2 steps above any other CCL cruise I have been on. Food quality service, trying to lower my expectations so I won't be disappointed, but should be great. And it's 8 days. Yeah, so I've done the Horizon. The Horizon was my second Carnival cruise, and I absolutely love the Horizon. It's one of my favorite cruise ships with Carnival. And I'll be honest, I'll take that over a elite class ship any day. So we're talking Jubilee, Celebration, Mardi Gras. I'll take the Horizon over that any day. I enjoyed the Horizon. I love the Liberty. I absolutely love the Liberty. And I like the Glory. The Glory is one of my top ships too. There's a lot of Carnival ships that I've been on that I enjoy more than, not necessarily more than the XL class ships, but I really enjoy them. I like the older style atriums. I like the big, fluffy, friendly theater seats. I enjoy all of that. So when you put that together on a ship, to me, I enjoy that because it reminds me of what cruising used to be, right? So now cruising's changed in such a drastic direction since COVID that these ships are coming out bigger and larger and more full of everything than they used to. The older class ships, to me, the ones that have a little less attractions or a little less things to do, I enjoy more than the ships like the Celebration where you have a roller coaster and all that. A roller coaster does nothing for me. I don't want to spend $15 to go around a lap twice. I'd rather go on the Horizon or the Vista and go to the IMAX movie theater and pay $15-$20 to watch a movie and enjoy a good movie while I'm in the middle of the ocean at one of the only few IMAXs that are out on a cruise ship, right? And I love that old school atrium. I love the glass staircases. If you've ever been on the Horizon, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Decks 3, 4, and 5, they're all right there. The casino's right there outside the atrium. You got the nice spiral staircases. You got the violinists that play right there on the walkout ledge that's there. The guitar players. It's just an awesome atrium. It's a great place to hang around. And it's that floor-to-ceiling atrium style, right? So I enjoy those types of ships. I enjoy that old school teak wood railing and all of that. It's just the simple things. I don't need all these bells and whistles. Now, I do love ships that have bells and whistles, but I don't need that to enjoy myself. The ports are awesome. Aruba, Carousel, and Amber Cove. Yes, so you're on the same itinerary we were on. We did Aruba, Carousel, La Romana, and Amber Cove. And I'll be honest with you, we're going to get into it. We're gonna touch base on a few things that we did, right, over on this 8-day voyage that I just got off of. And I'll be the first one to tell you I did an excursion. I booked an excursion the day before the port, and I never do that. But we'll get into that. 3/1/2025 cruise definitely checks all of the boxes for me. That's awesome. I've enjoyed the videos. Robin, there's a lot more coming. I got the hard drive right over there. I'm going to be working on content tomorrow before I go into work and over the weekend. So there's going to be a couple videos that drop over the next few days. Also love the Spirit. Love the Glory, Liberty. I'm with you. I'm like the older styles. And that's the thing, right? And people ask me that all the time. It's like, why are you into the older style ships? Well, I'm into it because that's what I remember as a kid. When I started cruising in the early 2000s as a kid, that's what cruising was. Cruising was wearing... Now, this exactly how it was when I was a kid. Formal night was black tie. Everyone was in a tuxedo. Men were in tuxedos. Women were in gowns. We literally had tuxedo rentals on cruise ships back in that time. So we cruised so often that my father bought us our own tuxedos that we would take on vacation with us and all of that. So I'm used to that older style, more, how can I put it, more sentimental connection with a cruise ship than more of like a party. But I'm used to that older style of cruising where the cruise director would always be dressed in a nice gown or a suit, where dinner would be a button-up shirt every night and formal night would be black tie. I'm used to that old style of cruising. Do I enjoy the more relaxed, laid-back style of dining now? Absolutely, because I can tell you right now, the last thing I want to do is get fully dressed up for a dinner. I haven't done it in years, and I really don't plan on doing it. But I wouldn't mind doing it every so often. The theater has an amazing theater with couch seats. Yeah, so the theater was awesome. I enjoyed that. They had them big, nice, fluffy, friendly seats, which was great. Coffee bar was awesome as always. We're going to talk about a few things. I didn't like the smoking section layouts. Now, I'm not a smoker, but hanging out with Chucky and all that, I didn't like the way they had the smoking sections laid out. It was a little weird. They had a big old space on deck 11 where you could smoke here from it overlooked the pool, right? So you could smoke forward, you could smoke in the middle, and you could smoke to like this section. So forward, all around the pool area up top, you could smoke, whatever would overlook the pool. And then you had a break where you couldn't smoke for 30 feet, and then the whole aft section was smoking. But where you couldn't smoke for that 30 feet was like on the Glory, where they had couches and loungers and things like that. So the one whole side of the ship should have been able to be smoking, but it was 100 feet of smoking and then 30 feet of not smoking, and then the whole aft section of smoking. So it was just weird the way they laid a few things out. You had a smoking section on deck 5, but you could really only access it if you walked through the Red Frog pub and then outside. So on the nights where it was really windy and they were having music in there, you would go out that door and it would just create a bunch of aggravation for everyone in Red Frog enjoying themselves. Some things were definitely laid out a little weird, and it just made you rack your brain a little bit trying to figure out what they were thinking when they added these smoking sections where they did. I'm a fan of the older, smaller ships. I wouldn't be suffering from rock climbing. I wouldn't be surfing or rock climbing. No sense in spending more money. And that's the thing, right? Like, now, if I cruise with my kids, it's different. I want my kids to be able to experience as much as possible. So I wouldn't mind taking my kids on like Utopia of the Seas or Icon of the Seas, Symphony, things like that have the rock climbing or the Flow Rider and all that stuff. I wouldn't mind that. But now that I'm older and I'm cruising more by myself or with a couple friends on a quick little cruise, it doesn't interest me to do a roller coaster or rock climbing or a ropes course or things like that. Does it bring a lot of good content to the channel? Absolutely, because you want to show everything and showcase everything that cruise ship, cruise line has to offer. But I'm not looking for that in a cruise ship unless I have my kids with me. I have yet to go to the IMAX, need to put that on the list of things to do. The IMAX is awesome on the horizon, so I would definitely check it out. I seen an awesome movie in there, and then when I was on the Vista, I seen an awesome movie in there. So I definitely like hitting up the IMAX, that's for sure. Love a beautiful atrium. I love a great atrium, and I'll tell you what, who's got great atriums? Princess. And you know what ship's got great atriums? The Sun Princess. So you know what that means? The Star Princess is going to have a great atrium. So Alaska 2026 is going to be looking pretty awesome from that atrium on the Star Princess. Liberty had a bar and a band in the casino. Loved it. Yeah, and that was the great thing, right? Like the Glory had that too. So the Glory has the bar, and then right off to the left side of the bar, they have the live music there. So that's a pretty cool thing. I enjoy all of that. Chuck says, I'm with you. I just don't need a roller coaster or the mega size. I do like the XL ships, but it's completely different vibe. I enjoy the XL ships. I enjoy the bars that they put on there and the food venues and all of that stuff, but I don't need a roller coaster. I'm okay without it. My first cruise, which was when I married Dan, January 2008, I still remember being in awe when I first saw the theater on a cruise ship. I had seen no photos or videos beforehand, and I was amazed. It's great, right? Like when you look back, and I remember like some ships, like I think my first cruise on Princess was the Caribbean Princess. I'm not 100%. I'll have to pull it up and figure it out. but I know one of my first cruises was on that style of ship, and they had this nightclub called Skywalker's Nightclub, and it goes over the aft of the ship. And if you've seen the Caribbean Princess, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Over the very aft of the ship, 100 feet above water, they have this big nightclub. It looks like the shape of a pill, but it goes literally across the whole aft, and they have this conveyor belt that literally, it's a people mover. It moves you from the deck all the way up into the nightclub. It's a glass nightclub floor. It's 360 degrees of glass around you. I was absolutely blown away that a cruise ship could have a nightclub that looked like that, 100 and some feet above the water. That was all glass. And I still love that ship. And that ship's getting ready to move to Port Canaveral in the next couple weeks. So I'm definitely trying to get on the Caribbean Princess out of Port Canaveral. Granddaughter and I are looking in the Virgin next year. She is graduating already, has a great job lined up, so we'll celebrate. Awesome. Is that the same granddaughter I met on the Jubilee? Hope they have good movies in March. Well, the good thing with IMAX is the IMAX theater always shows what movies are out in theater. So depending on what movies come out in March, really depend on what the IMAX will play. Now, sometimes during the day, they'll do like different things. They'll show like lecture movies where you can learn about wildlife and nature and things like that. And they're at a discounted cost. I think they're only like $5 a ticket or something like that. But they'll show some stuff from National Geographic or Discovery and all of that in there. But all the movies that they show in the IMAX are usually movies that are out in theater. If you follow John Heald over on Facebook, he'll tell you about the movies under the dive-in movies, and he'll always tell you like, hey, can't tell you the IMAX, you'll just have to find out on the ship. So all the IMAX movies are new movies that are in theater, so that'll be a good thing, knowing what movies are out in March of next year or coming out in February of next year. There's a good chance that a few of those movies will be playing in the IMAX on board the Horizon and the Vista as well. Same granddaughter. Awesome. I loved every ship I've been on. I'm not complaining about anything. Just get me on a ship, LOL. I'm the same way. I really don't complain about much. But when I see a ship that I know needs some work, it's like, all right, well, you tell me you're profiting, and I look at your numbers every quarter, and you're making money now. Why are your ships not getting dry docked a lot sooner rather than later, right? Like, you're going to continue to see a profit margin. You're going to continue to make money, but you're not putting that money back into this resource, but yet you're building more ships. Now, I'm all for new ships coming into the fleet. I'm all for different style of ships. I'm all for a new level of ships, right? We don't know what this next class of ship is going to be. We know it's going to be bigger than the XL class, but I'm all about bringing that money full circle and putting it back into what's already here. So if you're making money, you're telling me you're making money. You're telling me your numbers are up, pre-COVID numbers, and you're raising the cost of everything, and you're making more bookings, and you're getting all of this stuff. You got to start dumping some more of that money back into what you have to keep everyone booked. That's booked now to come back and book again. You don't, put it in dry dock, get it fixed. That's all I'm saying. Carnival stock is continuing to grow. That's awesome. That's what you want to see. That's how you know it's the right path, right? Like, as long as it continues to grow, we know the company is continuing to grow. It wasn't even a big or fancy ship, Mike. In fact, a pretty small and basic one, yet I was hooked from the very first cruise. And that's the same thing with me. Like, I wasn't on a big and fancy cruise ship. Now, I know a lot of you are going to judge me because I started Princess first, but it was Princess, right? But it wasn't one of their newest ships. It wasn't a brand new ship. It was an older ship. But it was just that it's what made me fall in love with cruising. It's that teak wood railing. It's that, old school style, big old atrium. It's the captain pouring champagne. There's so many different things that make you fall in love with cruising. And when you see things that are a little rough around the edges, you tend to look past a lot of it. But I want to continue to go on these ships for a long time. So the longer this ship doesn't hit dry dock, the worse it's going to get. It's like a sports car. If you don't drive it right, you're going to end up ruining it. So you're not going to get the full potential out of a sports car if you drive it like a minivan. You need to drive a sports car like a sports car. It's that simple. If you're rolling in the moolah, then you should be putting some back into the ships and their maintenance. That's all I'm saying. If you're making profits and you're profiting money, you gotta start getting them ships back to where they need to be. It's what's going to continue to make you money. And listen, paint goes a long way. Paint goes a long way. Right? Not high prices and record profits are kind of a thorn in my side. Yeah, I'm not. It's kind of tough, right? Because Carnival gives me such great offers, so I really can't say I'm paying top dollar for some of these cruises. But some other cruises I'm paying top dollar for, it's kind of like, all right, man, listen, I remember when I sailed on you fresh out of COVID. Y'all weren't charging this much money. MSC. Did I say that out loud? Booked an elite transatlantic from Miami to London, May 2026 on the Legend. That is going to be epic. And Lourdes, I need to look into that because I don't have anything in May 2026 yet. The only thing I have in May 2026 is the Alaska group cruise. That is it. I want my value, which is why I started cruising to begin with. I'm still getting great deals, but they may end one day and the dining prices are getting crazy. Yeah, so the one thing I'm really hoping that, here's the thing. Carnival has made some announcements that they're making some changes to their VIFP program. That has not been announced on when or what them changes are going to be. Now, I have noticed that there is a couple surveys that have been put out. I've got an email. I know a couple other people that got an email that has brought up the idea of wearable technology. Now, when I talk about wearable technology, I talk about like the Princess Medallion, or I talk about like the Disney bands that you can opt into for a Disney cruise. So I am hoping that with these surveys that are going out through like SurveyMonkey or anything like that, that Carnival is starting to transition a little bit more into the realm of Princess. Now, if you look on certain voyages, you can book Carnival internet on certain ships for up to 4-device internet. It is not allowed on every ship. It is not every itinerary. It is only certain ships and certain itineraries that offer this 4-device internet at that cost. Now, what other cruise line within the Carnival Corporation does this? That is Princess. So I am hoping Carnival is starting to notch a little closer to the Princess program, like Princess Plus or Princess Premier. I don't expect it to be an identical program if they do jump ship and go that route. But I do believe that that would help Carnival tremendously with a lot of other things, right? You got a lot of people that constantly want to buy the Cheers, but they look at the price and they go, oh, this is a little insane. But if you're grouping the Cheers package in with a specialty dining and a digital photo packet and your gratuities, that makes that number not seem so big. But I also love the idea of the wearable technology. I am a big advocate for the Princess Medallion. I will tell you through and through until I'm blue in the face. Every cruise line should have wearable technology like the Princess Medallion. It is absolutely awesome, and I think that is one of the greatest technologies that's ever hit the high seas. It makes things so much more simple. And I showed Cameron when we were in Curacao. There was a few stores that had the Princess Medallion logo on the window that said Medallion Pay accepted here. Now, the great thing about Medallion Pay is you can use your sign-in sale card, or your Princess Medallion in this case, to purchase things in port, and it gets charged to your shipboard account. Now, not every port offers this, not every merchant offers that, but there is a lot of them, especially in Alaska. I've seen them everywhere. So I believe that that Medallion technology is the way to go. Do I think Carnival is going to 100% commit to it? Probably not. Do I feel like they're moving into the realm of like Disney where you can opt into it? There's a possibility. Do I think they should? 100%. Every single cruise line should opt into a wearable technology like the Medallion. It saves time. It saves aggravation. It comes to your house prior to you getting to the cruise port. It fast tracks your embarkation process. It fast tracks your debarkation process. And it just makes things so much smoother. It runs better. Everything is awesome. I can order a drink on deck 2, walk all the way up to deck 17, and guess what? My drink follows me to that deck. It's insane the way this technology works, and I believe that with Princess being in the Carnival Corporation umbrella, they might start feeding off into these other lines. So hopefully that's one thing that Carnival starts looking into. I see Tess saying here that she thinks there will be adding a level between platinum and diamond. I really don't think they will. The only other thing you could add in there would be what? I mean, we have platinum and then diamond. What other metal would you have in between the platinum to get to diamond? I mean, you look at Princess, you have blue, ruby, gold, platinum, and elite. So I don't think they're going to add another level into the loyalty program. I honestly think that they're going to... Now, this is just speculation. I honestly think they're going to go into the realm of Princess again, right? Carnival, you need X amount of days before you hit that loyalty status. Platinum is 75, diamond is 200. Princess, you only need 15 cruises to get to the highest loyalty status. It doesn't matter if they're 3-day cruises, 2-day cruises, whatever it may be. I believe they're going to go into some type of program like that. I also believe they're going to go into some type of program where they do a match status across their own brands. We've seen Royal Caribbean do it this year where they're matching Celebrity, Silver Seas, and we see MSC that does this loyalty match program with every single cruise line. So I believe they're going to start looking into the realm of those possibilities. Now, again, this is all speculation. I hope that a lot of the speculation I'm talking about becomes reality, because that would bring a lot more people into other lines. So when you go to Princess and you're starting from the bottom, but you're double diamond with Carnival, that would give you a perk to go and try a different cruise line within the Carnival Corporation. Money's not changing hands. Money's still going to the same bank account. It's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's all under the corporation. I would think that they would want that to where they would be able to potentially get more people on different cruise lines within the corporation. So, who am I? I'm just a little old content creator in Spring Hill, Florida, who knows nothing but has cruised on both Carnival and Princess. And I'll be honest with you, I love both cruise lines. I love them both for their own different reasons, but I think they need to do something with this loyalty program to help benefit future cruisers and current cruisers. So let's see what y'all are talking about. 14 days, Liverpool, Wales, Dublin, then ending in London. Lourdes, you need to send me that itinerary. I need to look into that on the Legend. Seems super cool. I know I've been in situations where I've been coming back to the cabin with a drink for both myself and Dan, and then trying to open the cabin door. Yeah, and the great thing with the wearable technology is you just got to turn the handle and walk in. The door opens for you. I don't know, but after Platinum, it feels like forever to get to Diamond. It does. I mean, you're talking it's 125 days, right? Like, you got to get double Platinum before you can hit Diamond. And like I told Cameron, I'm at 120 days when I got back from the Magic. So I got 80 more days to go. And if I don't book anything else on Carnival, it's going to take me at least 2 years to get there. Because right now, all I have is the Coupe Cruise, and then I have one in May, and then I have October. So it's going to take me a long time to get there, because those three, that's only 14, 21, 29 days, and I still have 80 days to go. So if I don't book anything else with Carnival from now till then, it's still going to take me a couple years to get there. I did a 14-night journey cruise on the Pride this past April. Yeah, out of Baltimore. Well, it was supposed to be Norfolk, but with the bridge issue, some things made the change. No, I don't think you had that issue. You sailed out of Tampa and then went up to Baltimore, right, Robin? I hope they add the VIFP mix with other lines. I'm hoping that's the case. I honestly think gold status is too long. From gold to platinum, I mean, it's 50 days, right? So to reach gold, you got to have 25 days. And then from gold to platinum, it's another 50 nights or 50 days that you got to get. So you got to be at 75 days. So I think that's long, but I think that the diamond, the platinum is definitely longer. It's 125 days, right? So you got to go from 75 to 200 to hit diamond. But the good thing is a lot of people don't realize it is in between that 125 days, you have a milestone cruise. So on your 25th cruise, you'll get a diamond card. It's a milestone cruise. It'll just be your 25th cruise with Carnival, and they give you a whole milestone card. It's a white diamond card. And that doesn't matter how many days you have. It's just your 25th voyage with Carnival. You'll get that milestone cruising card. So I think it would be great. Well, who knows? Well, we just got to sit around and wait and see what they do, right? Like, they haven't released anything. It's supposed to be happening this year, and tomorrow's November 1st. So we only got 2 more months until the year is over. I can't believe that. Literally 2 more months. That's crazy. I tried to get Princess to match my offers. They wouldn't. So it's kind of tough to get them to match your offers. And if you call the casino department, they might be able to do something, but they're not going to match the offer because they're like, the casinos are completely different. It's a little tough to try and get them to match the offers there. They probably still have some competition between cruise lines. I'm not saying they don't have like a competition, but I think the competition is a friendly competition. I don't think it's who can get who on the ship or who can get more on the ship. I think it's just a friendly competition on which cruise line can sell more cabins or things like that. They probably, I just read that one. With my bookings, I'll be diamond in July for my birthday. Yeah, Lourdes, that's how you do it, girl. Robin said yes. So she sat out of Tampa and went up to Baltimore. That was the one she was on. But I think it got redirected due to the bridge. I'll have my 25th next October. That's what's up. But I'm thinking, Tess, that would get more to try the other lines. And that's the big thing, right? Like with the whole VIFP program and then the loyalty match with like Princess or even Cunard. I think if they open it up to where they status match within their own umbrella, it's going to make people get curious and want to try other things, right? Like, I'll be honest with you. The only reason I tried Celebrity was because they gave me a decent offer when I status matched from Royal. I got a really good price to be able to get on the Reflection, and it was worth it. So I made that jump. I status matched, even though I've only been on 2 Royal cruises. Technically, you can call it 1 because it was only 7 days total. But that was the whole reason I did it. Curiosity killed the cat. They got me with the status match. So now I'm at 23 points within the Captain's Club, whatever that means over there. I didn't even do no research. I just rolled with it. Don't forget the guy that has hit diamond 3 different times from a VIFP party. Yeah, that was crazy. So the most cruiser or the highest diamond guy at the VIFP party hit diamond 3 times. It was like 800 and some days he had with Carnival. I was like, man, I need to be more like that guy. It's already November 1st here. Well, then I guess I'm a day late for the... the Creator Corner post. I got to do that after this. I got to do it after this because if not, I'm going to forget like I always do, and then it doesn't get posted for 3 days afterwards. I'm all about trying other lines, but Carnival keeps giving me free cruises. Nobody else does. Hard to pay $2,000 versus $150 for taxes and fees. And that's the thing, right, Tess? So, like, if Carnival opens up the status match with other cruise lines like Princess, you can match your loyalty status with Princess. And then you're not starting from the bottom. You're starting from whatever loyalty you're at. So, like, with me, right now, I'm elite with Princess. So, if Carnival matched with Princess, that would bump me up to Diamond. So, I definitely hope that they would do that because when you're at different loyalty levels, you automatically get discounts through like the Captain Circle and things like that. Doug Bray in the house. What's going on, Doug? I hope you're having a fantastic night up there. Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm getting on Kate. I think you mean late, Sharon. I don't know who Kate is, but hello to Kate if she's here. Nah, I'm just teasing. Getting on late. Sharon's in the house. No reason to be sorry. But that's the thing, right? Like, that's the whole thing. So if they can do that status match and all that stuff, that would be great. But that's not what we were here to talk about. We were here to talk about crazy things on the Magic and what my thoughts were. I already gave you some information and all that stuff. I definitely think the Magic needs a dry dock. What else did I say I would touch base on? We already know you're a Diamond, Mike. I wish I was Diamond. I really do. I don't know what it is. It's this sense of completion. So I feel like I'm incomplete until I get to that next status. So I'm constantly checking every day what my cruise days are. Even though I know it's 120, it doesn't go up. It's not going to go up magically unless I get on a ship. And I know I only need 80 more days to get the diamond. But I want to try and get to the highest loyalty status with as many cruise lines as possible. And it's very expensive. It's going to take a very long time, but I definitely think it will be a fun journey in the process. That's for sure. But VIFP status isn't what gets me offers. It's the casino wins. Right. But if your VIP status is high and Princess matches your VIP status with Princess, you will automatically get a discounted rate. Because when you hit gold with Princess or Platinum or Elite, you automatically get into the Captain's Club. So you get certain discounts, which means you'd be able to get a cruise a little bit cheaper than what you would originally expect it to be. Now, I'll be honest with you. There's plenty of times where you can get on a Princess cruise for 4 nights, 5 nights, 7 nights for less than $500 and be brand new to Princess. It just depends on what last minute cruises they have available. So I would definitely keep an eye on things like that. It's always a possibility. If I go on Princess right now, there's a ton of cruises that they're offering for, I think it's like $225 for last minute deals. Now, some of them you got to go to California. Some of them are in Vancouver, BC, things like that. It's just what you're able to make work. Now, when I was younger, I had this idea of hitting Elite pretty quick because, like I said in the beginning, Princess doesn't count days. They do cruises. Or if you're on a long cruise, when you hit a certain amount of days, like if you're on a world cruise, you'll automatically hit the highest status when you get to a certain day mark. But they count it by cruises, and they have cruises that they offer all the time between Vancouver and San Francisco or Vancouver and Seattle, and they're 2-day voyages. So I figured it out. If I would have went over and did that cruise like 4 times, I would have hit the highest status. But I was like, man, do I really want to get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off, back-to-back process just to get to that status? And it wasn't worth it for me. But I ended up getting there anyway with not doing that. So, yeah, so the statuses will get you a lower rate. Now, it's not going to be a dramatically lower rate, but it'll definitely be a lower rate. We'll be Platinum when I board in 24 days. Def would do Princess for 500-ish. Our cruise in January on the Jubilee will be my last cruise as gold. That's what's up, Doug. Cameron says, my last cruise on the Magic was the last gold. Yep. Yeah, Chuck's first cruise, Platinum, was on the Magic. So Chuck got his Platinum card on the Magic, which was pretty awesome. That was cool. I wasn't the only Platinum in the party at that point. But since we're talking about all these cruise lines and Princess being one of them, why don't y'all take a second and check out this video I got for y'all and check it out. Like that, y'all been rickrolled on the last day of October. So how's it feel to be rickrolled? Listen, that cruise is fast approaching, and I have literally booked 4 cabins alone today. So I'm officially out of group cabins, even though I can get more. So I'm not saying it's done for. So if you want to go, hit me up, send me an email at thenautiCruiser@gmail.com, and I will definitely look into it for you. Tess, if you see Lourdes's message there, it says, Princess matched my casino status. and gave me the best of the best. So I would suggest reaching out to Princess again and see if they will match your casino status. Why that come in loud? It came in loud because it's got to wake you up, man. It all depends. It depends on the volume, right? So like that's a video that I have, and the volume is different than the volume on the mic. So I usually turn the mic down when I'm live, so that way it doesn't pick up all the background noise and all of that stuff. So the mic volume is a little bit different than the video volume. Is it too soon to start packing? Not yet. Not when you got brand new suitcases like you do. Pack them up, fill them up. Let's go. Did you see that next year's MSC is going to be Alaska from Seattle with Monday to Monday sailings? So I did. I have not done a ton of research into it yet. I don't know what ships they're going to be moving into Seattle. But I do know that they are... Here's the thing. When I was on the Jubilee, they bought the old Dole plant down there in Galveston. So they're going to be sailing out of Galveston starting next year. They're going to be sailing out of Miami with their new terminal that they're currently building. And I knew they were going to end up moving to the West Coast. Now, I didn't know if it was going to be for Alaska or if it was going to be for like Cabo sailings. Either way, I knew with them getting into Galveston and Miami, it was only a matter of time before they moved to the West Coast. If you go back and watch the live sail away from Galveston, you'll hear me talk about that. I drove on that because MSC is one of them cruise lines that I think everybody should try with an open mind. And I think it's an awesome cruise line. I enjoy it. I love the food. I love the service. I love everything about MSC. I've been on 4, 5, 6, however many I've been on. I've never had a bad experience. And I'm ready to get on another MSC. I'm also ready to get on Virgin. I got a pocket best friend. And what a pocket best friend is it's my cell phone. And I constantly get messages from my best friend, Charles, about jumping on Virgin. So I'm definitely going to be getting on Virgin. It's just a matter of when. And there's a transatlantic that leaves from Puerto Rico that he was telling me about that looks very, very interesting and very reasonable. So that could be a big possibility in the very near future. Star Princess test, yes, on the brand new Star Princess. So it's going to be coming over here in 2025 for a fall season in the Caribbean, and then it's going to be moving over to Seattle in the spring of 2026 to do Alaska voyages. So it's definitely awesome getting to sail on a brand new ship that was built by Princess through Alaska, which is going to be awesome. Oh, gay, you're a riot. Cannot remember one getting out of Long Beach, California, and one going Seattle. The other ship was MSC. Oh, nice. The way 2025 is looking for me, I may not unpack to go on my next one. That's a good problem to have, right? Leave the suitcase packed, wash it when you get home, repack it. Virgin is going to Alaska in 2026. Martin says MSC was horrible to me. Oh, that's not good. We have 3 booked for the meantime, but most excited about the Alaska one for sure. Alaska is going to be great. There's a lot of cabins already booked up, and I've made some changes for a couple clients, made some adjustments for them. A couple people went from insides to balconies, which is awesome, and all of that fun stuff. But Alaska is going to be great. There's a lot of people going. It's going to be one of the best group cruises I've ever put on. I do the Boats and Bros every year, and we still haven't figured that out for 2026 or 2025. That might get put on hold for the time being, and just focused on the Alaska group cruise because I want to make sure that this is the best group cruise y'all get on, and it's going to be hands down one of the best, if not the best group cruise you've ever got on. Did you see the midship video today? He said that MSC is going to build a 270-ton ship. That's a big ship. That's icon ship class. Like that's a large ship. And if anyone can do it, MSC definitely can do it. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. I'll have to check out Corey's video and see what's going on over there. But I've been a little away from the YouTube over the last couple days with just getting home and back to work and the kids with school and Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I had to work. I couldn't go out trick-or-treating with the kids. but I still enjoyed the day as much as possible. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me for the last hour. It went by really fast this week, and I didn't want to go live earlier, but hey, I enjoyed myself. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. It was a great time getting to spend time with y'all and all of that. But again, if you want to check out Alaska, you want some prices, shoot me an email. The email is in the description below. Tess, I highly suggest you reach out to Princess again, or reach out to Lourdes and see who she reached out to, and try and get that same connection. Enjoy your candy. I have some candy here. My daughter was very nice and gave me some candy before she went to sleep. And all of that fun stuff. So it's time for me to get some cavities and go off to sleepy land with a candy coma. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Keep an eye out for some videos coming this weekend, and I will see y'all next Thursday. Same bad time, same bad place, same naughty channel. Until then, y'all know what to do. Y'all stay naughty. Oh, peace.